Attention! Attention! This is an official emergency broadcast issued by the National Security Council in coordination with the Department of Homeland Security and the United States Armed Forces. This message contains critical information regarding the ongoing crisis. Please remain calm, listen carefully, and follow all instructions provided in this broadcast. As of 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, on April 10th, 2025, the National Security Council had received and confirmed reports from military reconnaissance teams of an artificial origin for the black cloud that is currently spanning the nation and the globe. Reconnaissance drones have discovered gigantic extraterrestrial complexes in and around major urban areas, such as New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C. These structures appear to be of extraterrestrial origin and produce an electromagnetic signature identical to the black cloud phenomenon. The cloud has been determined as an intended and hostile terraforming process, coordinated by an advanced alien force, rather than a natural meteorological phenomenon. These findings suggest a clear and immediate threat to the safety and survival of all citizens. These massive structures, some over a mile in height, have appeared suddenly and without warning. They have generated a field of electromagnetic interference, which leads to global communication and power outages. The structures are thought to be part of an extraterrestrial effort to alter the Earth's ecology, thereby rendering it more hostile to human life. Also, reports of unfathomable disappearances have increased near these structures. There are suspicions that the cloud is being utilized to hide alien activity, such as attempts at assimilation or abduction. Every citizen must act immediately. This is a period of immense challenge. Your safety is dependent on your prompt compliance with the following instructions. For your own survival, adhere to them. Remain indoors and secure your residence. Do not attempt to travel to any urban centers. Use thick materials to seal all windows and doors to reduce cloud exposure. Avoid investigating or approaching regions that are heavily covered in black cloud. Exposure has been associated with physical disorientation, neurological effects, and inexplicable disappearances. If you are outside and find engulfed by the cloud, immediately seek the nearest enclosed shelter. If you are in a situation when access to a safe shelter is limited, seek the nearest fireplace housing established by your local government. Avoid making contact with the mist and cloud at all costs. Avoid confronting or approaching any unknown entities or objects. Report any unusual activity, glowing lights, or unidentifiable objects immediately to the local authorities or the National Emergency Hotline, which is set up for black cloud phenomena and is 1-800-SECURE. Prepare an emergency supply kit with water, non-perishable food, flashlights, extra batteries, a first aid kit, and a battery-powered radio. Prepare to evacuate if directed by government officials. Get acquainted with the safe areas and evacuation routes in your community. Keep a battery-powered radio tuned to the official emergency channels for updates. Television and internet services may become unreliable as a result of electromagnetic interference. Ignore rumors, misinformation, and illegal broadcasts. Use only recognized government sources for guidance. Your actions in the coming hours and days will be critical for our collective survival. Do not take unnecessary risks. Stay calm and obey all directions. Panic, misunderstanding, or failure to comply with instructions may endanger life and disrupt the continuation of operations. Stay cautious, watchful, and most importantly, stay in the light. As the situation progresses, we will provide further updates. This concludes the emergency broadcast from the National Security Council. Remain tuned to this station for additional information and instructions. Thank you for your time.
急警報です。このメッセージは厚生労働省が公共の安全のために発表したものです。注意深く聞き、熱に行動してください。これは訓練ではありません。意味名、20部年、四月市議日部選白紙、日本標準紙、厚生労働省に長時間の暗暗にさらされた場合、重度な神経障害が発生するとの相談が寄せられています。その影響とは、干潮、不規則な行動、光に加わりたいという強い欲求などである。これは重要な問題であるため、すべての居住者が注意を払い、自分自身と大切な人を守るために断固とした行動をとることを強く求める。この現象は地球を包んでいる不自然な黒い雲によって達成された NASA 引く覚醒の暗々と関連しているようである。この現象に悩まされた人々は次のような症状を報告している。質量地下を構う激しい疼痛、位置の高原に向かって赴くように流す特体の知れない舞やささやきを聞く。人工的なものであっても、明るい光に突然原因不明の試着が生じ、その光に向かって死ぬもうとする強い衝動がマナー。引っかい暴走、恐怖、多形感などの感情的苦痛。認知機能の地下や不規則な意思決定により危険な状況に限りやすくなる。もしあなたやあなたの職人がこれらの症状のいずれかに該当する場合は、父に行動を起こしてください。厚生労働省は自分自身や周囲の人の安全と健康を確保するために以下の対策を推奨している。できるだけ無内にとどまり、周囲を明るく保つ。やむを得ず外出する場合は明るい場所で行う。不悪い場所や真っ白いな場所に長時間いることは避ける。家族、隣人、友人、特にひったたりの悪い場所で長時間過ごした人の精神的感情的状態に求心の忠義を払う。彼らが安全で明るい環境にいることを確認する。あなたやあなたの周りの人が干潮や針に近づきたくなる衝動に取られ始めたら、すぐに最寄りの保健当局や救急隊に連絡してください。利切な支援なしに症状のある人を拘束したり隔離したりしないでください。生態不明の高原や異常な高原に近づかないことが重要である。当局はこれらの実証を調査中であり、公共の安全のためには皆さんの協力が不可欠です。日本政府は国際保健機関や科学研究機関と連携し、神経学的影響について徹底的な調査を行っています。日本政府は国際保健機関や科学研究機関と連携し、神経学的影響の徹底的な調査を行っています。私たちの対策チームは支援を必要としている人々を支援するためのリソースを提供し、影響を受けた地域からでダタを収集しています。東京、大阪、名古屋などの大都市では、照明やメンタルヘルスサービスを強化した緊急避難所が設置されている。指定された施設にアクセスできない人々を支援するため、移動医療ユニットが危険性の高い場所に配見される予定である。これは日本の厚生労働省からの公式メッセージです。状況の金銭に応じて定期的に最新情報を提供していきます。この注意喚起はこれにて終了します。メッセージの内容を親戚に伝えてください。戻った情報を流さないでください。ご視聴ありがとうございました。
Good afternoon, listeners. You've tuned in to 24 FM, your go-to source for real-time updates and critical analysis in these remarkable times. Today, I'm Michael Hayes, and we're bringing you some shocking news that has the potential to fundamentally alter our society. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will require your whole attention. It's 4 p.m. on April 12th, 2025, and the globe is witnessing a first-ever development. The rise of an extremist group known as the Faithful of the Sunbringers has caused havoc over the world. These people worship the aliens that are said to be responsible for the mysterious black haze that has enveloped our planet in darkness. What began as scattered meetings has now developed into full-fledged fights with those opposing the alien presence, dividing communities, overwhelming law enforcement, and raising tensions to levels never before seen. Here's everything we know so far. Over the last 48 hours, these groups have taken to the streets in cities all over the world, including major centers such as New York, Tokyo, London, and Rio de Janeiro. They make it evident that they see the aliens as saviors rather than invaders by carrying homemade torches and screaming statements like, "The Sunbringers are our salvation." At first, their gatherings appeared innocuous, prayers, vigils, and symbolic offerings left in public spaces. The fervor, however, grew in tandem with the message. Witnesses indicate a growing hatred toward anyone who speaks out against the so-called Sunbringers or doubts their motives. In certain locations, this has resulted in violent fights, with injuries reported in many cities proclaiming state emergencies. Now here's the alarming part. These clashes aren't just about ideology, they're about survival.
They kept screaming that we're blind, that we need to join the light or be left behind. They were pushing people, throwing things, even lighting fires.
That was a witness at a protest in Chicago earlier today. The sect's increasing hostility has law enforcement scrambling. Riot police were sent in several locations, and while they were able to disperse some crowds, the turmoil has spread. And it's not limited to the United States. In Paris, authorities said that thousands of people attempted to storm the Eiffel Tower, claiming they were trying to call down the light. In Mumbai, a radical faction stopped major transit lines, demanding that the government accept the Sunbringers as gods. Meanwhile, in Sydney, counter-protests by residents opposed to the alien presence turned violent, injuring hundreds. It's just chaos, nothing more. Now, I understand what you're thinking, listeners. How did we get here? Why are people turning to this radical ideology? Experts believe it is a combination of terror, despair, and the psychological impacts of living in complete darkness. Dr. Elaine Roberts, a sociologist from Princeton University, said this earlier today.
When confronted with an existential threat, people frequently seek meaning inside the chaos. The Sunbringers present a story in which the darkness is part of a larger purpose and surrender equals survival. It's a dangerous mindset, especially when combined with widespread fear and isolation.
Dangerous indeed, but the dangers are not solely ideological. Law enforcement officials have warned of possible sabotage by these extreme organizations. Worshippers in New Jersey reportedly attempted to obstruct access to emergency shelters, stating that the artificial light inside was blasphemous. Similar instances have occurred in rural Texas and areas of Germany. So what can you do? First and foremost, remain informed. The government and international agencies are closely monitoring the situation, and updates are arriving by the hour. Listen to credible sources, radio, television, and official web outlets. Second, avoid large meetings, especially those that appear to be associated with these extremist groups. Even nonviolent rallies can swiftly become violent in this climate. If you find yourself near a demonstration, leave immediately and warn the police of any suspicious activities. We must maintain our humanity in the face of the unknown. This is not the time to turn against each other. It's time to join together, reject the draw of pessimism and extremism, and defend the people and ideals we care about. This is Michael Hayes signing off. Be careful out there, and remember that it is our responsibility to keep the light shining even in the darkest of times.
Attention. This is a global emergency alert issued by the United Nations Assembly in collaboration with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Department of Homeland Security for your country. This is not a test. The following message contains critical information regarding an ongoing global emergency. Please stop all activities, listen carefully, and take immediate action as instructed. Your cooperation is essential to ensuring your safety and the safety of others. It was determined this morning, April 13th, 2025, following an extraordinary session of the United Nations Assembly, that the persistent planetary darkness and associated occurrences are the result of an advanced extraterrestrial terraforming project. This program is actively modifying the Earth's ecology, making it unsuitable to human life. According to scientific and military investigations, the black cloud that surrounds our globe is a planned, established occurrence intended to block sunlight, damage ecosystems, and transform the Earth's atmosphere. The pace of this process is quick. Immediate countermeasures are being implemented. However, the safety of all citizens is not guaranteed on the surface. All individuals are hereby instructed to prepare for mass evacuations to designated underground shelters. Action required. What you must do: stop all non-essential activities and concentrate on ensuring your survival and that of your family. Delays in following these directions may cause significant injury or death. Locate the nearest designated evacuation shelter or fireplace housing. For further information, visit your local government's website, watch emergency broadcasts, or call your regional hotline. Assemble an emergency kit with the following essentials: identification documents, food and water for at least 48 hours, warm clothing and blankets, any necessary medications and first aid supplies, a flashlight with spare batteries, a battery-powered or hand-crank radio for updates. Use only well-lit roads and travel in groups if possible. Avoid regions with full darkness. Do not seek to interact with unidentified individuals or occurrences. Report any suspicious behavior to local authorities right away. Avoid spreading rumors or misinformation that could cause panic. Trust only official sources for updates. The black cloud continues to spread, severely decreasing oxygen levels in some areas and creating hazardous conditions for human survival. Breathing aids may be required in severely impacted locations. Reports confirm an upsurge in sightings of strange creatures in areas of dense mist. These creatures are extremely harmful. Don't approach or investigate. Seek quick refuge. Power grids, communication networks, and transportation systems are all facing significant disruptions. Emergency resources are being diverted to key areas to ensure shelter access and survival. Do not delay. Follow evacuation orders without hesitation. Stay connected to official news channels and emergency broadcasts for further updates. Your survival depends on your vigilance and compliance with these instructions. This message will repeat every 15 minutes until further notice. Stay safe, stay calm, and stay together.